Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another weekly update here at E-Free Lethbridge. First up, we've got a message from Jeremy and Myron.
The Spirit's at work in our church and in our lives. One of my favorite things is to sit around the staff table and hear stories about how the Spirit is working in ministries and in individuals. And we got to see signs of the Spirit at work last Sunday as 5 students were baptized, and we get to see signs of it again this Sunday as we anticipate celebrating 12 more baptisms. The Spirit has been working in Myron's life recently as well. So Myron, would you share with us how the Lord has been leading you in the past few months?
Yeah, Jeremy, sometimes the Lord leads in unexpected ways, and I have something to share that might surprise some of you. After much thought and prayer, I'm letting you know that I'm resigning from my position as Minister of Outreach, and my last day in the office will be July 28th. And in some ways, I was surprised myself that God led me to this decision. Our church has come through a season of transition, and I was really looking forward to working with Jeremy, with you, as our new lead pastor. But that said, since the early last fall, I felt a tug in my heart to move back to Calgary in order to be a better support to my mom, as well as to other members of my family, and this feeling has only intensified in recent months. As long as I was called to be here at E-Free Lethbridge, I was committed to being fully invested here because I love this church. I absolutely love this church. And so I was committed to that, but a few weeks ago, I sensed God was saying it was time for me to pass the leadership for outreach on to someone else. When I first joined the staff team here at E-Free about 7 years ago, Ian Lawson was the lead pastor, and he mentioned that he was planning to retire, and he asked how I was with working through transitions. My response was, they're not for the faint of heart, but it seems to be God's calling on my life. I've had the opportunity to journey with a number of ministries in transition throughout my career, and one of the things I love about transitions is that they're a time of evaluation and focusing, and we did just that with our outreach program here at E-Free. It was clear when I first stepped into the Minister of Outreach position that children and youth were a core passion and continue to be a core passion of our church, both in the programming we offer as well as in the partnerships we are committed to both locally and internationally. But beyond this, there was less clarity that God seemed to be calling us to go deeper with something new. And the potential seemed to be there to get more involved as a church in responding to homelessness in our city, which is a lifelong passion for me personally. But doors did not open up around this in a significant way. Instead, our church's intercultural ministries continued to grow and it continued to blossom, even during COVID. And I'm now convinced that this is a key part of who we are as a church and a key part of our church going forward. And while I deeply value cross-cultural ministry and I see the immense potential of this important program area for our church, it's not my strength. Thus, I want to give you, Jeremy, the opportunity to find the person who's best equipped to lead our church's intercultural ministries forward. I'm excited about what God has in store for E-Free Church of Lethbridge and my desires to hand off responsibilities as well as I can in order to ensure that the work of God, that what God is doing here, will just continue to keep moving forward. And one of the verses that God gave me during this time of discernment was the familiar verse of Joshua 1:9. And I was reminded that we step forward in courage, not in fear. Why? Because the Lord our God is with us wherever we go. And my wife Paula and I know this to be true. And I know it's true for you as a church, and I know it'll be true for you, Jeremy, going forward. And you know, I truly believe that God has good things in store for all of us.
Yeah, I was surprised and a little disappointed when Myron told me his plans. He and I had collaborated and dreamed about the direction the Spirit was moving our church and how we might get there throughout our ministry time here. And I was looking forward to working with Myron in my new role as lead pastor. My prepared question as we met a couple of weeks ago now was, what's next? And I didn't think the answer was going to be find somebody new. However, as Myron shared his sense of God's calling and the confirmations that he was seeing, the Spirit gave me a sense of peace. I was sad and disappointed, but I'm reminded of Peter's words to the Jerusalem church in Acts, "Who is I to stand in God's way?" And Myron has served this church faithfully. He's established good foundations in our global outreach, intercultural, and community engagement initiatives that will allow us to effectively participate in God's kingdom and mission in our current reality and into the future. He has led people and formed teams that are fully invested in our ministry, in our community, and our world. So I share your confidence that God has good things in store for all of us. I'm excited to see where the Lord will direct you and Polly next, and I'm excited to see how God will provide for us so we can continue to play our part in His kingdom and mission as well.
Our members meeting will be held on Monday, June 12th at 7 p.m. While members will be voting on board members, nominating committee, and budget, everyone is welcome to attend this meeting. We look forward to seeing you there. This month, we are collecting items that babies need: diapers, wipes, and formula, and donating them to the Lethbridge Pregnancy Care Center. Let's fill up those shelves and support the littlest ones in our community. We are holding a prayer and worship night on Friday, June 9th. This is an opportunity to worship together and pray for our church, our city, and each other. This event will take place in the Kids Zone at 7 p.m., and we hope to see you there. Well, that's all for me. We'll see you on Sunday.